Hey Facebookers, how are y'all doing? I figured I would jump on again to remind you, and I'm going to give some of you a couple of seconds to jump in. I'm making a quick meal real quick. But, and when you hop on, number one, let me know if you can hear me pretty well by hitting the hearts or hitting the like button. But let me know if you can hear me pretty well, because y'all be surprised what I have this phone propped up on in this kitchen while I'm cooking. So how was y'all day today? How was your day? Tell me, how was your day? Were you able to achieve something? Did you get that call that you've been looking for or praying for? Did you receive a promotion? What have you done, or what has happened for you today that has made you feel superior? Let's talk about it real quick, because the title of my Facebook Live is that you have to be a better friend to yourself. How many of you are really, truly putting you first? How many of you are really, truly putting you first? Because we've all heard the saying so many times that before you save someone else, you have to put that mask on, right? So how many of you are truly being a good friend to yourself? How many of you are? How many of you know how important it is to be a good friend to yourself? How many of you believe that? How many of you know how important it is to be a good friend to yourself? You know, many a times, as I always say, we go through so many different things in life, so many different phases. We just go through certain things in life, you know, whether it's good, whether it's bad. But a lot of times we have to go through certain things in order to go to that next level, right? So as you're working on going to that next level, as you're doing what it will take to go to that next level. Now, so when I say go to that next level, it doesn't mean that everything is going to be perfect. All right. It doesn't mean that you're going to have an easy journey to success. A lot of times, the people that are looking for success, and this is only an opinion, but a lot of times those who are looking for success go through the most stuff in life. I had to think about a word. So I want to know, how good of a friend have you been to yourself? Now, when I ask that question, I'm talking about the promises that you've made to yourself. Are you keeping the promises that you are making to yourself? Are you showing up for yourself on a regular basis? Because I always say, if you can encourage your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your family members, your co-workers, or whoever, if you can encourage them, are you encouraging yourself? Are you putting yourself first? Are you believing in your greatness? That's something that a lot of times people say they struggle with. And I hear people tell me all the time, really, that they can advise other people, but they have a hard time following through when it comes to their personal goals or come through to certain things in life. So I always come back with a counter. Like, how can you take care of everybody else if you're not taking care of yourself? And it is so important that you take care of yourself. Now, when I say take care of yourself, I'm talking about both physically and mentally. Taking time out for yourself, honoring who you are, honoring your space, honoring your time, honoring all kind of different things, right? Again, both physically and mentally. Because you can't be a good friend to everybody if you're not being a great friend to yourself. You have to be your own best friend. I always tell people, you have to be your own imaginary best friend, right? So when things do hit the fan, you have somebody to lean on, because a lot of times when people are going through certain things, they find it hard to find a person to connect with during their phase or whenever they're going through something, right? So when you're going through something, because sometimes you got to be very careful of who you talk to when you're going through a certain challenge in life. And when you're going through a certain challenge in life, not everybody is going to want to hear it. Sometimes they're going to want to hear it. Sometimes they can support you, and sometimes they won't be able to support you. So when things are going rough in your life, you got to be willing to be your own imaginary friend. Y'all look what I'm cooking. I'm just sauteing some peppers and onions. I'm about to drop the chicken in there. Just a little quick meal prep. But let me get back on track. And so while you're working on being a better friend to yourself, here are some tips that you can use. Number one, there is 24 hours in a day. So it ain't for so much you can do, but it's plenty that you can do. All right, where are you putting most of your focus on? Who's taking up most of your time? What is taking up most of your time? You got to always know and reassess the situation. You got to always know what's taking up your time and what's not taking up your time. You got to prioritize. You got to really, when you get over a certain age, you got to really sit down and work on a to-do list, because that's very important. I don't care what it is. You got to work on a to-do list. You got to be able, hold on, let me wash my hand. I'm trying to cook dinner, do laundry, and so I'm doing a little bit of everything. I'm multitasking right now. So you got to make sure that you understand what is first in your life. And whatever it is that you're seeking, whatever it is that you're doing, is it a priority on your list? Or is everything else a priority on your list? That's number one. So you got to make sure that whatever you're doing, whatever it is that you're seeking, that is priority on your list. So you can't never say you want X, Y, and Z, and then when someone asks you when the last time you worked on X, Y, and Z, you can't even give them a time. You can't even give them a good answer of the last time you worked on whatever it is that you're seeking. That has to be priority in your life. I don't care what it is. Whatever it is that you're seeking, that's where you put most of your emphasis, most of your time, most of your everything too. So, for example, you're working on a business. Your mindset should be all in your business. Your mindset should be all in your business. Creating a business plan, connecting with free resources. There's so many different free resources in your area. You would be very, very surprised, right? And then also, are you clear on what it is that you're doing? Are you following the right people? Because a lot of times, hey, Honore, what's up? So you ain't in jail. My God, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here, my God. Look at you. I've been noticing you've been going to Facebook jail a lot. You got to watch your friends, because everybody ain't your friend. Got to be more careful. But like I was saying, you got to really focus on what it is you want out of life. And, I got that too high. And whatever it is that you want, if you're working on getting yourself a new home, work on that. If you're working on losing weight, work on that. You can't say you want to lose weight and then I pass by and you up there at McDonald's. Now, I know McDonald's have some healthy options, but listen, whatever it is that you're desiring, you have to be a better friend to yourself. And if you're looking for X, Y, and Z, if you're looking to do whatever, I don't care what it is, but if you're looking to do something different with your life, you got to make sure that you are a good friend to yourself. You got to make sure that you have everything. Listen, number one, you won't have everything that you need. I'm cooking chicken. Some chicken, blackened season, and onions, a little bit of carrots, and a little bit of tomatoes. Just a little something for lunch. Because I made a big pot of that gumbo the other day, right? But I can't eat all that every day because I'm 40 now. That acid reflux. Ooh, my God. So listen, you got to be a better friend to yourself. You got to know what it is that you already have and focus on what you already have. You can't keep complaining about you don't have this, you don't have the money, you're not connected, you're not this or that. Whatever you already have, that's what you run with. Now for me, when I first jumped into the game of coaching and writing a book and speaking and all of those good stuff, I did not have nobody out there saying, TT, come on, let me take your hand. Let me show you how to do this. Let me give you a template. You go from A to B to B to C. Nah, I jumped in it because number one, I knew that I wanted to do something. I knew that I had a creative mind. I enjoyed writing. I liked writing or typing. I love making up stories on the computer. I love writing. You know what I'm saying? So I did it. Now, was I the best at it? I wasn't the best at it, but I got the story and the point across. There's always somebody that can cater to whatever it is that you need. So with that being said, if you want to write a book and you feel that you're not quote unquote smart enough, there's always somebody that can help you fulfill that story. You just got to do the first thing and implement, right? You got to be willing to say, okay, I'm going to type so-and-so amount of words a day. You can't keep saying you want to write a book and you're not doing what it takes to write a book. I tell people all the time, they ask me, how you write your book? You wrote 2 books. How you did this? How you do that? I sat down and I typed. That's it. And there's no book on how to write a book. I just sat down and typed. I found my Honorary, you can hit me up in the inbox. But when you hit me up in the inbox, the main thing I'm going to tell you is you just got to start typing. That's it. I don't care what your story is. I don't care what you're writing about. All you got to do is start the first thing and type. That's number 1. You wanna do a business? Number 2. There's free resources. I tell people all the time, there are free resources out there. If you want to do a business plan, don't know where to start, don't know how to start, don't know whatever, contact your local organization, SCORE, SCORE.org. They provide so many different resources. They even offer you a mentor. If they have a mentor that is that specializes in what you're attempting to do, all right? Because you know what? We got to make sure we have mentors. So they provide you with free mentorship. You wanna lose weight. You want to feel better. Okay, number 1, you got to implement that process. You have to learn how to be a better friend to yourself. You have to be a better friend to yourself, because while you go sit down, little boy, because while you out there helping everybody else, who's helping you? You have to put yourself first when it comes down to living your best life. Living your best life, achieving goals. Listen, all of that requires work. I don't know nobody, and especially now, I picked for the last quarter of 2019, I decided to pick 3 people that I'm aiming to get towards. And when I say aiming to get towards, I picked 3 people that is doing the same thing that I would like to do, that are very successful. And so every day what I do is I research them. I research their website. I research their books. I research their social media. I even go through their biography, not to copy whatever it is that they're doing. I'm doing that because I need a template, and I need to understand how to get from point A to point B. Because whatever it is that you're seeking, you got to make sure that you understand it. You got to make sure that you're researching it, because everybody is going to have an opinion. Everybody is going to tell you, oh, you should do this. Oh, you should do that. I'm going to give you the basics that you need to get started. I'm not even going to sit up here and tell you to connect with this person or connect with that person. What I'm telling you is, if you have a goal, it is time for you to stop playing with life and go ahead and start researching what it is that you desire, even if it's with weight loss. Okay, there's so many different programs out there that people are doing. You can implement something that's very sensible and suitable for your lifestyle. Remember, because it works for Susie, Karen, and Brenda, and Barbara and them, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work for you. So you got to do what's going to be implementable and practical for your lifestyle. So that's number one. Number two, you got to connect with like-minded individuals. You can't keep playing with the same people. Listen, if you rocking it and kicking it with people from 2001 that are not doing anything with their lives, you know for sure that they're not doing anything with their lives, that you're in the wrong room. Now, y'all still can go to the cookouts. Y'all still can have fun during the holidays. But when you're aiming for something more, you got to change your network. You got to change the people that you eat lunch with. You got to change the people that you're following. You got to change your community. All right, and when I say community, I'm talking about the people that you interact with on a regular basis. Now, nothing, of course, comes easy. I'm going to tell y'all right now. It's going to be days where you feel that you need to give up. You're going to have days where people are going to encourage you. They're going to encourage you to give up. I'm here to remind you and tell you that you got to be a better friend to yourself. Would you encourage yourself to give up? No, you wouldn't. So you got to make sure that you're connected with yourself. All right? You got to be connected with yourself and be a better friend with yourself. Everybody trying to get ahead up. Listen, let's be honest for a minute. You know, there are people that work full-time jobs that are out there selling paparazzi, Avon, Mary Kay, this makeup. They got a side boutique. They doing candy coated, whatever you call it. They doing, you know, what is that other sex line called? Pure Pleasure, something. But listen, everybody's doing a side hustle. You know, the reason why they're doing a side hustle is because they're not making the money, or they're not being able to live the life that they want to live. So that's why a lot of people have side hustles. Now, some people, they know they have to work, but again, they working on their passion so that they can get out of working under someone so that they can live in their passion. All of those things, whatever your excuse is, be a better friend to yourself and get it done. Whatever your excuse is, be a better friend to yourself and get it done. You got to be a better friend to yourself. Because you know what? Sometimes when people, and I won't even say that because I think that's negative. That's negative. So I'm not even going to say that. But what I'm going to say is you got to make yourself your own imaginary friend. I tell people that all the time. You got to make yourself your own imaginary friend. You got to get out there. You got to hustle. You got to do what's right for you. If you work a full-time job like I do, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, okay, you got to figure out what is best for you. It's gonna mean that some nights you're gonna have to give up some rest. All right? Some mornings you're gonna have to get up an hour early. If you want certain things in life, you got to make sacrifices. Meaning, again, you got to be a better friend to yourself. Because if one of your friends call you and say they need you, or they need you to do X, Y, and Z, and you get up and go help them, but you don't get up and work your own passion, something wrong with that. Something wrong with that. And that automatically means that you're not being a friend to yourself. You got to be a friend to yourself. You got to know that people are going to talk. And if they talk, let them talk. Like my mom always says, as long as they don't hit you, you good. If people are going to talk, let them talk. If you do bad, they're going to talk. If you do good, they're going to talk. If you in between, they're going to talk. So what difference does it make? What they say should not even hold any value in your life. Right now, we're not even focusing on what people think, believe, say, what they gossip about. That don't have nothing to do with you. What is important right now is that you become a better friend to yourself. And every day I got to look in the mirror and repeat certain things to myself. Not because I don't remember who I am, but I want to make sure that I encourage myself on a regular basis. And you got to encourage yourself. You got to be a better friend to yourself. right? You got to be your lover, sister, friend, brother, uncle. You got to be all of those things to yourself. You got to be able to put on many, many different hats. You got to be willing to stand the ground, to stand the test, but you got to put in the work. And when I say put in the work, whatever it is that you want. Like I said, write a book, write a book. Want to go back to school, go back to school. Want to start a clothing line, do it. Want to be a rapper at the age of 45, do it. But you got to start somewhere. You got to believe in yourself. You got to start somewhere. You can't worry about all the extra politics that come with you trying to increase in life. There are going to be days where you ain't going to want to do it no more. There are going to be days where depression hits. There are going to be days where you may be driving to your full-time job and you pull up in the parking lot and you sit in that car and cry because you don't want to go inside, because you're not fulfilling your purpose, because you know that there's something more for you out there. But right now it looks like everything is limited. It's going to be days like that. It's going to be days, listen, I'm telling y'all, it's going to be days where you're going to feel that you're inadequate. You're going to feel that whatever it is that you're praying for, believing in, is just something that you may think that you thought up, if that makes any sense. But you got to get ready for whatever it is that you've asked for whatever it is that you prayed for. You got to get in alignment with what it is. You got to believe in yourself. You got to be, again, for the 1,000th time, a better friend to yourself. You got to trust in you. You got to trust that whatever it is that you want to do is already there for you. You got to believe in it. You got to look in the mirror. You got to look in the mirror and talk to yourself. You got to encourage, motivate, inspire, and advise yourself. Same way you do with your homeboys, your homegirls, your cousins, your co-workers, and all of those good people. You have to be a better friend to yourself. So when you're a better friend to yourself, you got to stop with the procrastination. You got to stop, number one, with the procrastination. You got to believe in what you can achieve. You got to set ground rules and boundaries in your life for people that doesn't serve a purpose for what it is that you're trying to do. So number one, you got to set boundaries. You got to encourage yourself, be a better friend to yourself, number two. And number three, you got to create a strategy. All right? You can't worry about not having the money from the bank. You got to believe that the money from the bank is coming. Right? You got to believe that the money from the bank is coming. But until that money comes, this is what you got to do. You got to make sure you got a strategy. Because one day you may get that call. And you may get that call and they may say, okay, I need you down here in 35 minutes. Can you get here? You want to make sure that you're prepared for what it is that you've been asking for. So this week, I said that I was going to be preparing for what it is that I'm asking for. Pick 3 things that you could utilize, that you could implement right at your kitchen table. You know, people keep saying, I don't have this, I don't have that. Damn it, you ain't going to never have everything that you need. But what you got to do is, you got to start being prepared. So if you wrote a business plan, you're looking for a business loan, make sure that business plan is in action. Stop saying you want a business and you don't have that business plan. Get it in action, because, you know, again, one day is one day. You might get that call, and when you get that call, guess what? Bam. You got to be ready. You got to be able to download it from your computer. You got to be able to pull over on the side of the road and be able to send it from your Dropbox to your email so that you can print it out here. Listen, get ready for what it is that you've been asking for. Get ready for what it is that you've been praying for. You got to get ready. You ain't got time to be playing around with people. Guess what? If you over 35, you ain't even got no more time left. I don't give a damn what nobody say. You ain't got no more time left. You got time. You only got time for real life when you're 35 and above. You got time for real life. So everything that you're wanting, it needs to be in action. You want a restaurant? I challenge you this week to sit down and write down at least a menu to what you would like to serve. At least a menu to what you would like to serve. That ain't gonna cost you no money. You can sit right at your kitchen table again and start crafting out your menu. That's preparation. You want to start a clothing line? guess what? You can start, if you can draw, start sketching out what it is you want to start. What would your name be? What would you like to see on the back of all your gowns, on the back of all of your t-shirts or your jeans? What would you like that name to be and look like? Start getting in preparation for what it is that you asked for. Be a better friend to yourself like you're to everybody else. Be a better friend to yourself like you are to everybody else. And believe in your next level. You got to believe in it. Nobody else is going to help you the way that you can help yourself. They'll tell you, oh, I'm there, whatever you need. And you can't listen. You cannot fool around with some people. And it's not that sometimes life gets the best of them, and that's why they can't help you. So you got to get in alignment with yourself, be a better friend to yourself, and you got to start saving yourself. Whatever your spirituality is, get connected with that. Get connected with your spirituality, whoever you serve. You know, don't be touching spiritual stuff because people take it the wrong way. But whoever you serve, you got to be a friend to that person too. Whoever it is that you're believing in. Real talk. You got to be a better friend to yourself. And that was what I've been meditating on all day today. I was like, you know what? I need to make sure it's not going to be 100% perfect, but I need to make sure that I start getting everything in line for what I asked for. You prayed for it. You've been asking for it. So now get prepared. Whatever it is. I don't care what it is. I don't care what it is. Whatever it is that you've been praying for, go ahead and get in alignment with it. Stop waiting. Stop waiting. Stop believing that you need so many different things to start preparing. It's just like chicken. So, you know, if you have chicken in the freezer and you want to cook it in the evening time, like I'm doing right now, you got to take it out so it can thaw out. And you got to sit it in the sink, sit it in water, sit it in the bowl, wherever you put it at. But that's preparing for what I'm going to do when I come home in the evening. Simple as that. It's simple as that. You got to start preparing for what it is that you asked for. And in order to do that, you got to be a better friend to yourself. You got to be a better friend to yourself than what you have been. We all slip sometimes. Y'all, let me tell you something. This right here, you add that to anything. Look at that. You add this to anything. It's good. It's good. I'm just going to throw it out there. It's good. It's good. So, moral of this post, be a better friend to yourself. Whatever it is that you're seeking, go out there and do it. Start preparing for it. Let's act as if you got a deadline. And whenever you see this video, your deadline is 5 days from whenever you see this video. You got 5 days to get in preparation for what it is that you asked for. What would that look like for you? What would you need to do? That's the biggest takeaway from this Facebook Live. You got to get in preparation for what it is that you asked for. It's waiting on you. It's waiting on you. You just got to get in preparation mode. You got to be a better friend to yourself. So, you know, just like I always show people this, it's just like the runners. You know, when they're getting ready to run track, they start stretching, they start getting prepared, they get, loose, they start doing all kind of different stuff to get prepared to take off when that gun's piled, when that guy shoots that gun and it says go. They get ready, they get prepared. That's what you need to be doing all day. All right, whenever you see this video, whenever you see this video, whatever it is that you want to do, I don't care what it is that you want to do, you got to be a better friend to yourself and you got to get prepared. And you got to start getting prepared. And when you get prepared, you're going to start moving. Things are going to start falling into your life because you're in preparation mode. That's important. That's your key. Don't ever say I didn't give you nothing. That's your key. The key to success is preparation. Not making it perfect, but getting in alignment with what it is that you have asked for. And that's it. I hope that I've been able to encourage you. If you're watching a replay, make sure you hit #replay. Share this out. You may not need it, but one of your cousins might. As always, remember to stand strong and manifest the extreme.